Is the section lines and Coach Riley Edwards is coach. I believe this is the third season as a head football coach for the section lines. Coach, if you'd introduce the players or let them introduce yourselves and some opening comments from you, we'd appreciate it.
Okay. Yes, sir. This is five of my seniors that I have that put in a lot of work. They're the five that won the point system to get to do the extra stuff that you get to do based off of some of the criteria we put together, as a reward system of work ethic and attendance and things like that. But these are our five that won out on those. Worked hard, good guys. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Aaron Thomas.
Cooper Williams. Jackson Cooper.
Braxton Arrell.
Jonah Seeley.
Okay. Yes. We actually start first practice as soon as we get back from this. So we'll be rolling out. Took a lot of time, since the end of the season last year to, correct a lot of things. Evaluating, self-evaluation is a big thing. There's not a program in the nation that don't self-evaluate and try to fix things. Got together with these guys right here. They're good team leaders, and, we all evaluated everything and sat it down. And, I think back in the spring, as in March, they had these guys had an hour-long meeting with the rest of the players. And that was something that I've been trying to get, seniors to do in the past. And this group is, believing in what we're doing. And they sat down and they laid the standards out and the expectations, and, and they've been following through with everything involved with that meeting. And, I was real proud of them for that.
Coach, you said you're headed into your first practice this afternoon. Talk about the things you may have done this summer and the improvement that you've seen in the football team through your summer workouts.
Yes, sir. We've had a real good summer. I've been extremely impressed with the leadership role our linemen have had. They've stepped up, and even since Thanksgiving, the linemen have gotten together and did lineman things, and they've took on a leadership role of we've got to get better, and they've understood it. They owned up to everything, and they've held each other accountable. So I've been real impressed with the work ethic that our linemen have put together. They've done some extra stuff together on their own as a unit. Our skill guys, they've continued on going from where they left off. We've had a good summer with some of our 7-on-7s. Having Aaron back for a second time as a quarterback, being able to go into a season with a guy with starting quarterback experience is big. And then our X and Z right here with Jackson and Cooper, both of them coming back with experience and the work they put in. We're glad to have Braxton back from his injury. He's made big strides to get back to where he was, and then now he's further along weight room wise, and our conditionings went well. And then Jonah was a big part of leading those linemen and some of their extra they was doing.
Well, Coach, naturally it's your third season, and it's kind of sort of been a slow building process. And I mean, you and I have talked, it's been hard to keep a staff together because you keep losing staff members, number one. Number two, do you feel like really all this team really needs is to start having that little bit success on the field, maybe a game that they're not supposed to kind of sort of get the ball rolling?
Yes, sir. Continuity is big with a football program, and we've spent most of the summer trying to build a staff, and some of the staff that was able to get, longtime childhood friend and former teammate. I was able to get Chuck Dutton to come up. When it comes to going into ball games and having people you got to depend on, is nothing better than somebody you went through it with as a player. And then we've coached together for a long time too as well. Of course, we still got Coach Pope and Coach Bolt helping. We've added Hatton Metz. He took the science job. And then Cole Wooten was recently hired in a PE spot. He's primarily a basketball coach. He's going to help us with our football. And then a former player, we call him Red, but Dakota Pranger is excited to come back. One of the things we preached is trying to get players to come back until alumni start taking pride in where they've been. It's going to take a while to build until we can get people coming back on campus and showing what's important to them, that, playing that section was important and being a line is important, that type stuff. And Red is everything you want in a guy that's, does that. And then we got a volunteer assistant, Chris Wilburn. He's another former player that played at section, and he's took on that role as well, showing these guys that, playing at section is important, that there has been, football programs in the past there that has, tried to build and stuff. So, but, spring, we did the 2 hours a week stuff. It's challenging when you don't really have a staff. But we finally got one put together again. And, it's just starting back over, building trust with coaches and players. And, I think the new guys that we've got in has started building those relationships on the run. And, we're looking forward to, seeing the relationships grow. And, as your relationship grows, then your program gets better.
Well, Coach, it's good to see you again. I miss my weekly opportunities to come chat with you up there at section. We'll figure that out another day. But for your players, what is your mindset? Coach has already mentioned you guys are just a few hours away from getting into camp and getting ready for the start of the 25 season. What's your mindset right now? What has it been like for you this off season? Because I don't want to say to turn the ship around, because every season's a brand new season in a life of its own. But how do you get off to a fast start like you want to do in order to really begin how you feel like you deserve or need to get to that point? What's your mindset like right now to do that?
Showing up every day and putting in the work and just being there. And everybody on the team we're moving with one better than past couple of years where, we fuss and fight and we wasn't together. And I think that's going to help us get on the road. And
well, first of all, I feel like us seniors, we have to start off by being leaders of our team, which I feel like we've improved a lot on this past season. But it's all about showing up. We did not have everybody show up last year. I feel that was a big reason for our failure. And once everybody shows up and puts in that work, I feel like we can really push forward to what we want to be and really show how good our football program can become.
I just feel like we got to show up together. Last year and a couple years ago, we didn't show up and play as a team. And I feel like that's a mindset we got to have, is to really love each other and move on with each other. Because if you don't move on with each other, it's going to be hard to win games, become a program. And that's one thing he come in, Coach Overs come in and got on us like day one. But yeah, it's just being a family, I think, you got to do.
I don't want to speak. Okay, well, Coach, and listening to this, and I'm sure that you've probably seen this too. This team is starting to become player-driven, and if they're going to be player-driven, that means success on the field. That's with any football team. But also, I want you to comment on. You say you got your quarterback back. What are we going to see offensively out of this team?
Yes, sir. We're just able to expand. Now we've had to change some things based off personnel. That's with, every small school. You personnel changes a few things, but we're still going to be in our base stuff. Our base offense and defensive stuff. We did a real good job with our quick game, and I think Aaron being able to come in as a returning starter, he understood the quick game a little better this summer. And then of course all of our route runners, all the receivers did a better job of understanding the coverages that's going against, and how those routes change based off of what's given to you. So you saw growth this summer from that, but our biggest major growth that I've seen is our maturity level has grown. We got a lot of guys that are doing a good job of leading from the front, and as a coach, you like seeing that more than anything else, is seeing kids grow up into their own and be leaders, but be leaders from the front and going through it. And that's kind of what I've been more proud of, since the start of this summer.
This question is for the players. Guys, Coach said that you earned your way here to be in front of the media today. I want you to talk about team goals that you guys may have set for your team this year, and maybe individual goals that you have for yourself.
I think as a team, everybody wants to improve the football part of section. And I'm sorry, what was the question again? Team goals. I'm sorry. It's just, everybody wants to make the playoffs and keep on playing and not end your career out and not in the playoffs. And I think we haven't really talked about it as like a full team, but us up here, we know that we want to end out on a good note with our senior year and our final year.
I feel like our team goal isn't much of reaching the playoffs or winning a bunch of overall games. It's more of just giving what you got every play, every practice, every rep. And I feel like that will all lead towards great success on the field and off the field, especially when we graduate and go into our life and create good habits for us and our families that we will have.
Going back off of what Cooper said, just to go to playoffs and become better and closer as a team, and piggyback off what he said again with the whole family and off the field stuff, just get closer and become better men and be good people at the end.
Like what they said. Like what they said, it's just trying to get better and end on a good note. Not have as many injuries this year.
Coach, your expectations, your goals for this year's football team?
My expectations is more, we spend a lot of time with Coach Richard Kohler. He comes in, spends a lot of time with us, and works on our culture and things like that. Our biggest thing is, what are we doing to get better day by day? Not necessarily as outcome, but we're looking at a growth mindset. How are we growing each day by day? Are we, in my case, am I a better coach today than I was yesterday? Am I growing each day? Am I a better father each day? Am I a better husband each day? These guys, same mindset. So are they a better student every day? Are they a better player every day? And then day by day, get better. So our biggest goals is focusing on us to overall grow as better people. and grow as better football players. We go in each day and with an attack mindset. So we're going to attack the hour. Big thing we talked about was winning the hour all summer. So you got 24 hours to win. At the end of that 24 hours each day, what's your record? You know, like if you wake up on time, you know, you 1-0. And then winning battles through the day. You know, did you get to school on time? Did you come prepared? Did you take part in class like you're supposed to? Was you the student you're supposed to be? And then as you stack those habits day by day, then those habits develop and stay with you. Those are the things we're looking at. You know, football is just a tool. I know a lot of people put more into football than what it really is, but football is a tool. If we don't use football to create better men for our society, then we're wasting that opportunity and we're wasting the sport.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Good luck to the section lines this year. We appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you.